You know that box humming away outside your window, your air conditioner? Well, it is fighting a war you probably never even see. It's in this relentless battle against heat, against humidity, and a whole bunch of other invisible enemies. So today, we're going to go behind the lines and see what your AC is really up against.
We all know that hot weather is tough on an air conditioner, right? That's a given. But what happens when you throw crushing, sticky humidity into the mix? Well, that creates a special kind of brutal environment. So let's really dig into the specific forces that can turn a hot summer day into an AC's absolute worst nightmare. And to really understand this fight, we're going to zero in on a perfect example, the climate down in Doral, Florida. Just think of this place as a gauntlet, a series of non-stop challenges that are constantly attacking an HVAC system from every possible angle. Okay, so first up is the most obvious enemy, constant, just oppressive heat. And look, we're not talking about a few hot days here and there. This is a relentless siege. We're talking temperatures in the 90s for months on end. This forces your system to run these marathon cycles, stressing every single component and wearing them down way faster than they would in a milder climate. And next, we've got the heat's tag team partner, extreme humidity. When that humidity level hits 80% or even more, your AC suddenly has to do two jobs. It's not just cooling the air anymore. Now it's working overtime, pulling gallons, and I mean gallons, of moisture out of the air every single day. That double duty puts a massive strain on the whole system.
And for anyone who lives near the coast, there's this silent destroyer at work. The salt-laden air, it just drifts inland and it acts like an acid. It is actively corroding the metal coils and fins on your outdoor unit. And that slow degradation, it kills efficiency and basically sets the stage for a critical failure down the road.
The threats get even more specific than just the weather. All that construction going on, it can literally choke your system with dust. If you live near an airport, the constant vibrations can shake electrical connections loose over time. And hey, even things you'd never think about, like a shoddy installation job from a previous owner, can create this lasting strain for years. It's truly a multi-front war.
So, what happens when the system just can't take the pressure anymore? Well, this constant battle, it results in some pretty common casualties. Let's take a look at the 4 most frequent ways an AC unit fails in this war against the climate.
So the first common failure is as weird as it sounds. Picture this. It's the hottest day of the year. You need your AC most. And what happens? Your indoor coil literally freezes into a solid block of ice. It turns your AC into a very expensive and very useless paperweight.
And the reason this happens is almost always ridiculously simple. Restricted airflow. Your system has to breathe, right? And when it can't because of a clogged air filter or a blocked vent, the coil inside gets way too cold, and all that humidity in the air just freezes right onto it. Your system is running its heart out, but absolutely no air can get through that block of ice.
Next up, a really catastrophic failure, the death of the compressor. The compressor is the heart of your AC system. It's this powerful pump that circulates refrigerant, moving heat from inside your house to the outside. When it goes, the whole system goes with it. It's game over.
And the stakes here are incredibly high. The electrical stress from, power grid fluctuations and summer thunderstorms can just burn out the compressor's motor. And on an older unit, the cost to replace just this one part is often so high that it actually makes more financial sense to replace the entire system. Ouch.
The third casualty is a slow, silent killer, a refrigerant leak. See, refrigerant is the lifeblood of your AC. Think of it like a special fluid that acts like a sponge for heat. It soaks up all the warmth from your indoor air and carries it outside. If that lifeblood leaks out, well, the sponge is gone.
And this brings us right back to that corrosive salt air we talked about. It is the #1 culprit. It creates these tiny, microscopic pits in the coils of the outdoor unit. Then the refrigerant just bleeds out, really slowly, over weeks or even months, forcing your system to run longer and harder until it finally just gives up.
And finally, we have a deceptively simple problem that can lead to absolute disaster. Your AC, remember, it's pulling gallons of water out of the air every day. All that water has to go somewhere, and when its escape route gets clogged, the damage can be immense.
Yeah, because your AC is also this powerful dehumidifier. That drain line can get clogged up with algae and gunk. The water then backs up, it overflows the drain pan, and it starts pouring into your attic or your utility closet. All of a sudden, you've got thousands of dollars in water damage to ceilings, walls, and the unit itself. It's a total mess.
Okay, so your system has failed. The battle is lost for the day. What should you expect from a professional technician who's coming to the rescue? Let's break down the playbook for a proper, effective repair so you know what to look for.
All right, the very first thing you should expect is honesty and transparency. A real professional isn't there to just sell you a part. They're there to diagnose the root cause of the failure and give you a clear-eyed assessment of your options, especially when you're facing that tough decision of repairing an old unit versus just replacing it.
A quality repair always follows these 3 steps. First, a thorough diagnosis. Not just finding what broke, but why it broke. Second, getting your clear approval on a quote before any work begins, no surprises. And third, after the repair is done, testing the entire system to make sure it's working perfectly under real-world conditions.
Now, we get to the most important part of this whole thing, how you can stop being a victim of the climate and actually go on the offensive. This is your home's defense plan to keep your AC running strong year after year.
And look, the difference between being proactive and being reactive is, well, it's staggering. A well-maintained system can have a significantly longer lifespan. We're talking 5 years, maybe more. It also runs more efficiently, which saves you money on your bills, and it helps you avoid those sudden, awful, expensive breakdowns.
So here it is, your checklist for victory. And if you only do one thing on this list, make it the first one. Change your air filter. Every 30 to 45 days during the summer. Seriously. It is the single easiest and most effective way to prevent that frozen coil we talked about. And of course, keeping that drain line clear and the outdoor unit free of debris are also critical, simple steps you can take yourself.
So, at the end of the day, preventative maintenance isn't just another chore on your to-do list. In a tough climate, it's about arming your home's most important defender for the battle it has to fight every single day. So the real question you have to ask yourself is your AC ready for the next heat wave, or are you just going to leave it to fight all alone?